Welcome to my channel, Worldwise. I bet you didn't know that one of the world's longest traffic jams didn't happen on a highway, but on water. We've all felt the frustration of a traffic jam. Cars stretching for miles, engines idling, everything at a standstill. It's a universal experience whether you're late for work or just trying to get home. The world seems to pause and all you can do is wait, surrounded by a sea of metal and exhaust. But what if the jam wasn't on a road, but on water? Not cars, but massive ships, stuck for not hours or days, but 8 long years. Imagine the scale. Vessels the size of skyscrapers, loaded with cargo, unable to move, their crews stranded in the middle of a desert waterway. This is the true story of a fleet trapped in the Suez Canal, caught in the crossfire of war. Their journey began as a routine passage, but fate had other plans, turning their voyage into a historic ordeal. Their ordeal is a testament to patience, ingenuity, and the resilience of the human spirit. Day after day they faced uncertainty, yet found ways to endure and support one another. The Suez Canal, a vital shortcut through the Egyptian desert, became their prison. What was meant to be a lifeline for global trade turned into a barrier, isolating them from the world. These ships weren't just vessels, they became floating homes, their crews forced to adapt to a new, uncertain reality. They built routines, celebrated holidays, and created a sense of normalcy amid chaos. The story begins not with a crash, but with a sudden eruption of conflict that would change the Middle East. The world watched as tensions flared, and the canal became a front line in a much larger struggle. This 8-year traffic jam is more than a historical oddity. It's a lesson in how interconnected our world is. The Suez Canal is a crucial artery, linking continents and economies, and its closure sent shockwaves far beyond its banks. When one artery is blocked, the effects ripple across continents. Goods are delayed, markets are disrupted, and lives are changed in places far from the canal itself. Yet even trapped between two warring nations, the sailors didn't give up. They found hope in each other, and in the small routines that kept them going. They adapted, created a community, and found ways to live and even find joy in the most unlikely circumstances. From soccer matches on deck to shared meals, they built a life together. The tale of the Yellow Fleet is about more than ships. It's about people, and the extraordinary things they do when faced with the impossible. It's a story of friendship, perseverance, and the will to survive. Their story is a reminder. When the world stops moving, it's people who find a way forward. Even in the darkest times, human ingenuity and spirit shine through. Let's journey back to where it all began, to understand how a single event could change so many lives and reshape history. This is the saga of the Yellow Fleet, a story of endurance, unity, and the power of the human spirit in the face of the unimaginable. For centuries, ships had to sail around Africa's Cape of Good Hope, a perilous, months-long journey that tested the limits of sailors and ships alike. The route was not only long, but also fraught with unpredictable storms, treacherous currents, and the constant threat of shipwreck. This daunting voyage shaped the world's trade for generations. Everything changed in 1869, when the Suez Canal was carved through the Egyptian desert, connecting the Mediterranean to the Red Sea for the very first time. This engineering marvel was a dream realized after centuries of ambition, instantly transforming global navigation. Suddenly, ships could save over 4,000 miles, bypassing the long and dangerous trip around Africa. The Suez Canal shrank the globe, making distant markets and resources more accessible than ever before, and revolutionizing international trade. The canal quickly became the world's most important maritime highway, carrying oil, grain, rubber, and manufactured goods between continents. Its waters bustled with ships from every nation, each carrying the lifeblood of modern economies. Control of the canal meant control of global commerce, a source of both progress and conflict. Nations vied for influence, knowing that whoever held the canal held the keys to world trade. For shipping, it was a miracle: faster deliveries, lower costs, and a more connected world. The Suez Canal became a symbol of human ingenuity and the relentless drive to bridge continents. A factory in Manchester could count on Indian cotton. A family in Rome could enjoy fresh spices from Indonesia. The canal brought distant cultures and economies closer together, weaving a new global tapestry. The Suez Canal wasn't just a ditch, it was the engine of a new era, powering the rise of modern industry and international cooperation. But its strategic value also made it a flashpoint, drawing the attention of empires and superpowers alike. And in 1967, that flashpoint would ignite, forever changing the course of history in the region and beyond. On June 5, 1967, 15 ships from 8 nations entered the Suez Canal, expecting a routine passage. But that morning, war erupted between Israel and its Arab neighbors. The canal became a war zone. Explosions echoed, smoke rose, and the Egyptian government ordered the canal closed. Ships were scuttled at both ends, mines laid, and the 15 ships were trapped in the Great Bitter Lake. At first, the crews thought it would be a short delay, days, maybe a week. But the war's aftermath left the canal a front line, and the ships stranded. Their temporary anchorage became a long-term prison. The conflict that trapped them would reshape the region, and their lives. The world moved on. But for these sailors, time stood still. They had no idea their ordeal would last 8 years. The Yellow Fleet's saga had begun. Days turned to weeks, then months. The ships, once symbols of movement, became prisoners in a sea of sand. The relentless sun and sandstorms coated everything in yellow dust, earning them the nickname the Yellow Fleet. Crews rotated in and out, hundreds of sailors from around the world experiencing life in limbo. Their main enemy, boredom. They fished, read, played cards, and turned decks into football fields. Surrounded by war, they built routines to keep their ships and spirits afloat. The desert claimed their colors but not their resolve. In the shadow of conflict, they found ways to endure. The Yellow Fleet became a floating village suspended in time. Isolated in the desert, the sailors formed the Great Bitter Lake Association, an international community afloat. Ships rafted together, each with its own specialty: a clinic, a swimming pool, a football pitch. Lifeboats became ferries for meals, movie nights, and visits. They held their own Suez Olympics, complete with homemade medals. A yacht club and regattas brought friendly competition. The German crew even created postage stamps, now prized by collectors. Church services, parties, and shared traditions gave purpose and belonging. The GBLA turned adversity into unity. Even trapped, they built a vibrant society. The Yellow Fleet proved that community can thrive anywhere, even in the heart of a conflict. The world watched anxiously as the Suez Canal remained closed, with shipping costs soaring and global trade grinding to a halt. The fate of the canal became a matter of international concern, as vital goods and resources were delayed for months on end. Tensions simmered along the waterway. The canal had become a front line, Israelis entrenched on one bank, Egyptians holding the other. For years, both sides faced each other in a nerve-wracking standoff, with sporadic fighting erupting and the Yellow Fleet, those trapped ships, caught in the dangerous crossfire. The canal, once a symbol of connection, was now a zone of conflict and uncertainty. In 1973, the Yom Kippur War erupted, and the stranded ships found themselves once again in the middle of fierce battle. Crews sheltered below deck, as armies clashed for control of the canal's vital passage. The sailors endured months of fear and uncertainty, never knowing when the next attack might come. After the war, diplomacy finally gained ground. Ceasefires and disengagement agreements paved the way for historic peace talks. The canal's reopening became a powerful symbol of hope and reconciliation. For the world, it meant the revival of global trade and the restoration of vital shipping routes. For the sailors, it meant the long-awaited chance to finally return home to their families. The end of their ordeal was in sight, and the Yellow Fleet's long journey was nearly over. A new era of peace and renewed opportunity was about to begin. Reopening the Suez Canal was a colossal task. Wrecks, mines, and debris had to be cleared. Operation Nimbus Star, led by international teams, painstakingly made the canal safe again. By 1975, the way was clear. Only 2 ships, meticulously maintained, could leave under their own power. The rest were towed out. On June 5, 1975, 8 years to the day, the canal reopened in a grand ceremony. The Yellow Fleet led the first convoy, greeted by cheering crowds. Their return was celebrated across Europe. The saga ended not just with freedom, but with peace. The Yellow Fleet's story is a testament to endurance, community, and hope. Even in the longest traffic jam, humanity finds a way home. My next video is out. Watch it now.